Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our campaign is The Curse of Nineveh. It was written by Mike Mason, Mark Latham, Scott Doerward, and Paul Fricker, and it's available on the Chaosium website. I'm the GM, and this is episode 6. Our recap will be given by Jason Melnichon. So, without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Jason?
Hi. When we last left our When we last left our eclectic group of investigators, I, Cyrus Finley, was sitting on the back seat of Felix's car, covered in blood. In fact, all of us had blood on our hands. And I don't mean that in a metaphoric way, but I'll get back to this. Reginald was still having extremely disturbing nightmares. Our group was trying to piece together the events. This led us back to the British Museum, more directly to the office of one Reginald Campbell Thompson, RCT for short. We threw a ton of questions at him, and he tried to bullshit his way around them, but eventually he cracked and admitted he was, in fact, at a dig in 1919, and he did find the Temple of Nabu. Our quick thinking and nimble-fingered friend Felix spotted RTC's journal on his desk and pocketed it. In hindsight, I'm starting to think RCT knows quite a bit more than he actually told us. I don't trust him at all. We went to investigate Terence McEvoy's house, only to smell death through the door. Scotland Yard was called. Terence was in fact dead. And it was done in a ritualistic way. His throat was slit. We learned about a group or cult named the Red Turban. Could they be responsible for the vicious murders? So we drove up past Nev's place and found our thugs outside smoking. I walked up to him, hit him extremely hard with my walking cane, and tossed him into the car. Fuller held the thug at gunpoint. His name, I learned, was Stewart. So I proceeded to tenderly and lovingly beat him about the head and face while asking him questions. Stewart was too slow in his answers, so I ever so gingerly snapped his fingers. He still did not answer what I wanted, and he didn't want to give me any names, so I pulled out my knife, and that's when shit got real strange. Stewart's face went contorted. He stiffened up, and a maelstrom of blood and bile erupted into my hair, my eyes, my face, and yes, into my mouth. And that's where we pick it up.
All right, gentlemen. You are in a car with a dead body and a lot of blood. And Vadim and Reginald, you're in the other car where you've seen blood suddenly splatter on the back windshield. Not knowing exactly what happened. What do you guys do?
Reginald, what is that? What?
I don't know, Vadim. I'm afraid that, as I feared, this lawlessness has gone too far already.
No. What happened? Stop the car.
And I believe that Felix stopped as well.
Oh, yeah. I slammed the brakes on when I felt the heat and the filth blast me from the back like a warm sneeze that just stuck.
So we'll pull up behind you and wait to see what emerges.
I'm looking around seeing if there's anybody noticing us pulling over and noticing anything.
You're in London, so there are people about.
Felix, I think you should just drive, find a back alley.
We need to
Let's get away from here.
And hopefully find a river, a creek.
I reach out the window and tell
wave
them
them on. Wave them on with us.
Well, now you all have homes, so there's that option too. But
What is my servant's going to say when I walk in covered in brain matter?
My lord, what have you done? Again?
Questions I don't want to answer.
We can take it back to my place.
But do you want the spot? Anyway. Do you want this body at your place? We could go to a bridge and just I'll toss the body over the bridge, and then we'll go back to your place and clean the car.
Did his head explode, or did he just throw up everywhere?
He his insides must have exploded. He puked up blood and bile, and
Yeah.
I'm
His eyes were
wiping it.
rolled up into his head, and
No, I think I got this. Let's take him back to my place. Let's get cleaned up, clean this car up enough to be able to transport. We'll get him cleaned up to where he looks like a normal human being again. Swap him into some clothes. We'll take him out to a park, put him on a bench, and just let him sit there. If there's no
Alright.
external injuries, it'll look like natural causes, and we can disappear into the night.
Yeah, we'll throw all of our clothes into your fireplace. Just
Yep.
burn that evidence.
So that should be a good enough plan for now, and then we'll go. And my staff's not going to say anything. They've seen some terrible things anyway. Nothing like three guys coming in covered in blood and God knows what else shot out of him, but they'll keep their mouth shut. That's what I
Seriously want to know what's going on over there. What's going on?
Yeah, they're just idling. It's really bizarre. I thought I saw a hand wave, and it was all bloody too.
Don't like this. This is bad business.
We're just gonna pull off and head to my place up in King's Cross.
All right, Vadim, follow him.
Right. I thought you were driving.
I think it's
Both
your
in the
car
back
because
seat.
they knew my plates.
Oh, that's right.
so without actually knowing the topography of London, forgive me, all of those who were there, say it takes you 10 minutes to get to your place, Felix, across London.
Excellent. I pull into the garage. The gates open. Pull into the garage. Get out, and we're just. We're sticky.
Yeah.
I'm literally in my shorts because I took everything off and just left it on the back seat.
Whose car is it, by the way?
Felix's.
That was my. It was my car. I guess it's still my car, even though it's disgusting inside. So I'll deal with that I'll deal with the car another time.
Is this a 1 or 2 car garage?
Oh, it's just one, but it's a roomy one. So
I'm parking outside and getting out and running over there.
Yeah, we're hoofing it in.
as soon as you get in, I close the doors. Close the doors back up there because we don't need everybody seeing Cyrus naked.
Boys, what's going on here?
Jesus,
Reginald-
what did you do with this guy?
Vladimir, my gun did not fire, nor did Fuller's.
I didn't hear any shots. That's why it was so strange. What happened?
He literally, every time he was about to tell me a name or tell me something, it was like his jaws clamped together. And then finally, when I was tenderly coaxing the information out of him, and his jaws clamped together, his eyes rolled to the back of his head. He started to almost shake, and then he just, like, his insides exploded.
So he
Insides
poisoned himself.
exploded.
Yeah, you could,
I'm having a look.
So he must have taken something, yes? A cyanide capsule, or
that was my first thought. But when I looked into his eyes, no, this was. I don't even want to say the word, but this was some sort of magic. I don't know any other way.
Magic.
And I don't believe in that crap, but I'm telling you what happened.
He
Felix
didn't
Fuller.
ingest anything like an explosive.
No.
I had his hands. Fuller had a gun on him. He didn't move. Every time he went to answer, I mean, Fuller saw it. Maybe he could shed some light on what I'm talking about, but.
Don't ask me. I have no clue. I've never seen that shit in my life.
Oh, such a mess. Tom, I'm going to do a spot hidden on him, see if there's anything like a tattoo or marking or...
Okay.
So before he killed himself, did you get the idea that this was our Guido?
This wasn't Guido. His name was Stuart. Well, Stuart, but he kept stuttering and saying,
Stuart. Was that a first or last name?
That's the first. I believe it's a first name. That's basically the only thing I could get out of the guy. He said somebody was paying him to find some artifacts specifically from was it Nineveh area, and that they'd pay him well. And anytime I tried to get more information, it's like something stopped him from talking. And then when
He was definitely afraid of whoever was doing this more than what we were doing to him.
But he was about to say a name when everything went wonky on him.
Got a hard success.
He has a couple of tattoos, but nothing significant. Maybe he's got mother with a little heart. 1920s tattoos.
But no specific marks or markings or brandings or...
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Nothing other than the fact that he's turned to oatmeal in the back of the car.
And he didn't have ID on him, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And his suit was actually a pretty good suit.
Well, I started taking him. I started cutting him out of his suit. Not cutting the suit, not him out of it.
Get him stripped down so we can hose him off.
Yeah, I'm already filthy. It might as well be me that does it.
Yeah.
Stepping back while they're doing the dirty business.
Yeah, quite. So you didn't see him ingest anything, but
he didn't put anything in his mouth.
Chick. Taking out a pad and paper and jotting down some notes.
Plus, he was terrified. The honest truth is if he was determined to commit suicide, he would have been arrogant, not terrified.
And you say he was looking for artifacts from Nineveh, but he didn't get the impression when I spoke to him that he was an educated man. How would he know an artifact from Nineveh?
He's hired gun.
And he didn't tell you anything about his associate.
Yeah, I don't think he would have known his ass for his elbow, but...
And he described his employer how?
He didn't, and that's what I think he was about to reveal when he erupted on top of me.
Erupted.
Because I told him I was about to cut his finger off, and he went to say he went to say something significant, and that's when his body seized.
I'm going to call my people, or my head guy, Belvedere.
Yes, sir.
Belvedere, could you get these clothes up? Get a bag.
Of course, sir.
Get all this disgusting stuff into a bag.
Yes,
put
sir.
it in the fire. Let's get rid of it. Keep it as low profile as possible, please. And Cyrus, you look like you could probably get into one of my suits.
Yeah, I'll make it work at least until I get back to my place.
All right, Bel. 3 suits. Get two from the left side, and then one from my private stash for myself, because
of course, sir.
I don't want to. Terrible.
I'll do that right away, sir.
The green one. Be sure to grab the green one on the left for our friend who's asleep in the back of the car.
Of course.
Thank you, Belvedere. Excellent. Did you guys need any tea or crumpets or whatever we eat on?
I think a whiskey is probably in order all around.
So I could do with some whiskey. Yeah.
Of course, sir. I'll have Cook bring in the whiskey.
Benson. Yes. Benson's a good man. Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Gentlemen, you didn't notice anything going on just before he erupted, did you? Anybody on the outside? Anything that may have caught your eye that you missed?
I don't believe so.
You were driving, so you were all a little preoccupied at that moment.
Well, that's what the 2 of you were supposed to be looking out for while we took the guy into the car.
We didn't see anything. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything except... And now you see I'm, like, covered. Like, my hair is matted,
Keep an eye out to see if he may have gotten shots, because he could have been shot at a distance.
I don't believe...
It would have had to have damaged the car coming into the car. We would have seen or heard broken glass, a sound
Cyrus,
of a shot.
as you're removing him from his formerly quality suit, you should look for any external injuries. I'm wondering if he wasn't wearing something. If it wasn't
give him-
poison that he ingested, might have been wearing something on a belt or whatnot that was triggered.
I'll completely strip him and go through this clothes like inch by not, just pat everything down and give him a once over, like just run up and down him.
We're gonna see everything anyway. We got to clean his ass up, get the blood off.
Now,
Oh.
I was in the Great War. I've seen some corpses before. Have I ever seen a corpse that looks like this?
Well, not really. This guy doesn't have any external wounds. In fact, other than the fact that his eyes are rolled up into his head and his mouth is open now.
Okay, this is
This
going to
looks-
sound really weird, but when his body evacuated, did he bleed out of his anus or any other orifices that were not normal?
I don't know. You'll have to check.
Yeah, check him and see if he's bleeding out of orifices that aren't normally bleeding.
All right.
Kind of his idea. Why don't you let Fuller look back there?
Yeah.
Well, it should show in his underwear.
Well, he's completely nude now.
Okay. The answer is yes. It looks like he's hemorrhaging from all orifices.
Okay,
Mr. Belvedere comes back in and he says, "Sir, I've taken the liberty of drawing a bath for those who would like to take one."
This right here, you guys. This is what servant should be. They're more than servants. They're friends at this point. Thank you so much, Belvedere. Very thoughtful. Have you seen Benson with the whiskey?
He should be here in just a moment, sir. And
Excellent.
I've also disposed of all of the evidence.
We're just going to call him clothes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And Benson comes in and he says, "I got your whiskey here. There you go."
Fantastic. Thanks,
thank
Ben.
you, Benson Mum.
Thank you very much.
I think a decent cigar would be a welcome contributor to the atmosphere as well.
Benson,
Yeah.
the library. There's a mahogany box there. Could you grab 1, 2, 3, 4, please? 5.
Yes, sir.
5.
He didn't taste that great because I literally ingested part of it, and it's disgusting.
But look, if he is bleeding out of orifices not intended to bleed, doesn't that sound more like some kind of an illness, a hemorrhagic fever, and not a poison?
But
Certainly, this
Travis,
is not my expertise.
Not mine either. I'm guessing here.
I feel
I
like
don't
if you
think anybody knew what hemorrhagic fever was back then.
I had no idea.
Oh, yes, they did.
I suspect if he ingested a strong acid or base, it could dissolve organs. But purely speculating.
it would eat out his stomach, or
Now,
his throat at the very least.
Tom, am I burning where he vomited on me?
No.
I look at Reginald. I said, "Well, what was inside him is all over me, and other than being a little messy and a little disturbed, I'm quite all right."
Well, you can ask Cyrus this, but I don't believe it was poison because I was there with a gun on him. Cyrus was discussing matters with him, and in no point in time did he reach for his mouth, touch his mouth, or anything that would imply that he was taking a poison.
Perhaps the injury that Cyrus dealt him before tossing the vehicle caused some internal bleeding, and it just took a few minutes to catch up.
Wouldn't think at this caliber.
It is a pity that we don't know a medical man that can be trusted, because I don't think we can drop this. What was his name? You said Spencer.
Oh, there's an easy way to do that. Let the cops find
Do
him.
it. Do it.
They'll
Do it.
find out what form of death he had, and then we could find out from the cops.
Cyrus, do you want to take first bath? Otherwise, I'm going to run up there and get this shit off of me.
Yeah, I would love to do that, but real quick, maybe we can just put an anonymous tip into our detective Brinslow or Partridge, whoever we just met.
Mm-hmm.
Not from us, but hey, there's a body on the corner of such and such street. Check it out.
We're just
And
gonna
then-
prop him up. We're gonna prop
Yeah,
him up.
but
in the park.
that way he finds them, and when we go to speak to him about when we go to put in our reports about earlier today, maybe he'll bring it up to us, or we could find at least it's in the right hands.
But
There's
rather
no
than
place-
toss them in a river or off a bridge or into a smelter, we leave the body someplace where the police can recover it and perhaps perform an autopsy.
Right, but
we
if
can't-
it's
we can't call the police though because they can trace our call.
no, they can't.
Yes, they can.
Not,
Well, it would be
this point-
we would call for
At
an
this
anonymous
point in
box,
time in
obviously.
history, they had operators. They
right.
have
You
to
call
manually-
from a police box.
I thought only
Yeah.
police could use those. I thought they had to
No.
have a key to get in them.
No, there's actually public call police boxes.
Oh, okay. Then my bad. My bad.
Because most people didn't have telephones, so it was the only way of contacting the police.
Yeah.
All right,
I
I'm
thought
gonna
that
run
they
up
had a
and
special key that only they could unlock it.
to
No.
get inside of it, and
Mhm.
then they had some equipment inside, and sometimes they would even lock up a drunk inside until a paddy wagon could come and pick them up.
Sometimes
here's my
cops use it
thing.
as a base.
I don't believe it's poison, and there's one reason and one reason only I don't believe it's poison, and that is we've seen a lot of people mysteriously turning up dead lately. None of them are poisoned, and usually someone who poisons, wouldn't they use that on a continual basis? Usually a
Well-
person who poisons, that's their MO, if you will, and they will poison other people. But this is the first that we've seen of it.
That makes sense.
Because if they're poisoned, if he was poisoned, then we could have poison all over us.
You guys figure
Well-
this out. I need to go wash Stewart off me.
Yes, by all means.
Yes.
So if you don't think it was poison, what do you think caused it?
That I'm not a doctor, but some kind of fever or what they call that back then, I forgot. I don't know, some kind of a fever or something like that. I don't know for sure, but no one shot into the vehicle. There was no gunshot.
But to have such explosive expulsion, that's not natural.
Well, you'd be surprised at what cholera can do to you.
Well, I've been lucky in not having cholera.
So, Felix, is your staff sufficiently competent, you think, to eradicate the remains of Stewart from the vehicle?
Yeah, they'll take care of it. Belvedere's pretty good, and he's got a couple guys underneath him that are actually. believe
And
it or not,
this is off the subject, but all of us are. I mean, because the Wentworth Club, right, is occultish. So we wouldn't think that occult's out of the line of possibility, would we? Because we all have cult in our backgrounds.
No, it's true. At least an interest in the matter.
I don't know how that relates to the game. If we think occultism is real, or if it's just something that we know about but not believe in, I guess you would say. I don't know.
I actually was wondering
Sorry to
whether I should
interrupt you, Felix.
make an occult roll to see whether it seemed like something.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to do the same.
I have only a 30, but that's
5 out of 60.
Hard at 30.
10. So, yeah, that's also.
Well, I mean, if you're going to go into the occult, there's nothing to indicate that he was sick. There's nothing to indicate that he was in ill health up until the very moment that he tried to say something. There's no external wound of any kind, so it wasn't a gun.
So what does
Match-
that suggest
match-
with a successful roll? A gash?
Well, you've been talking about curses.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy was hexed by a witch or something. I mean, you're talking occult. Whether you believe it or not, it's neither here nor there. But yeah, magical witch, a voodoo doctor, or somebody could put a spell on somebody, or I mean, that's where you would go with your occult. Somebody stuck a voodoo doll with right at that moment.
Chainsaw.
Fuller, you did say something around the lines of occult.
Well, it would be very difficult to believe that he was ill. He appeared to be in fine health when Cyrus took him off the streets. And I can guarantee you no bullet came through the window because we had the windows rolled up so nobody could see what was going on. So there's zero possibility that he had been shot. I certainly did not shoot him. And being the only one that was in the proximity to him, I mean, it only leaves a curse or a hex or something.
And Cyrus felt very strongly that it was about him revealing something that was the breaking point. So there might have been some sort of, even post-hypnotic command, although I don't know that hypnosis is powerful enough to dissolve one's guts. I also wonder what the shifts are for those watching the Pinker plays, and whether we should get back there to pick up the short, less dapper fellow and see if he's more capable of being forthright.
This sort of thing goes with something I've been studying. Very oddly, it does. I need a little bit of time to formulate something here, and when I do, we need to talk. Because if this goes along the lines that we're starting to talk about, there may be some significant stuff, as it's said.
So by now, Felix is finished with his bath, and Belvedere is drawing a second bath for Cyrus.
Did you guys get your cigars?
Yeah, you've all got your cigars.
Fantastic. Benson, thank you for that.
Of course, sir.
Bath and cigar, huh? Fantastic.
And a boxing match, sir. Little violence never hurt anyone. Is there anything I should do with the bodies, sir?
Yeah, once Cyrus finishes up there, if you could clean our friend up and have him presentable, that would be...
Yes, and Mr. Albright, you didn't seem to get as much on you. Perhaps I can just dab it off.
That would be very nice.
We also have a hose in the
Why can't I have
back.
servants like that?
Don't know. Maybe it's all in your approach.
So,
Fortunately, I lost my servants a while back.
I'm not known for being a people person.
we'll assume that you've cleaned yourselves up and you have a body that's relatively clean, and perhaps you've put clothes back on. Who helps to sort of?
I'll help put the clothes on him.
I have people for that.
Oh, okay.
Really, no need. They'll have him completely ready and presentable in no time at all. Just enjoy the cigar and the fine whiskey. He'll be ready to go on the bench soon. And if you'd like, actually, Belvedere sometimes takes an afternoon stroll. I'm not saying he should put him on the bench, but I am saying that he would be ideal to say that he sees a man who may not be in good health sitting on the bench. He'll know exactly how to describe him. And the suit that I had him put on is one that I've never worn. It was a gift from my mother way back. Nobody wears a green suit, for Christ's sake. Not in these times.
About 20 years ago.
Just wasn't my style. So there's nothing that would trace it back to me.
All right. So
Sounds like a plan.
as you guys are there, so what Belvedere is going to do is he's going to claim that he has gone for a walk and that he calls the police on some non-responsive vagrant who's lying on a bench in the park. Which we'll say this whole operation takes you an hour. You take the body out there, you wait until nobody's looking, you put it on the bench, and you go back. And then Benson makes a phone call. Basically, he tells them, yes, there's a vagrant, and I believe he may be injured or sick. He does not seem to be responsive. Thank you, sir. And so the police are going to go and find the body.
Those guys are all getting bonuses at Christmas. Big bonuses.
So, do we want to tell the Pinkers that one of their stalkers has removed himself? Do we want to go and wait for his associate and try to repeat the maneuver?
I mean, yeah.
Do we visit Peter Simkin again and see if we can cajole him or physically drag him out of his home?
May I suggest with Peter Simkin that we might be inclined to get our investigator friend, since he is connected with the murders, that he may need a wellness check?
Do you mean talk to Brinslow about checking in on Simkin?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Have him meet us there and let him force his way in again. And I don't want to see anyone committed, but what kind of life does this guy have cowering?
I think
The hospital might be able to help him.
Personally, I think we're better off not getting the police involved. If we have to break in and talk to this guy, it's something I'd really rather not the police see, us trying to force him to answer us.
Well, and Brinslow's homicide anyway, so we wouldn't be calling him because a recluse was crying.
But it's all revolved around his same case, so he might take interest.
Right, but we stole the evidence of their relationship, so that might not fly, as they'll say in 50 years or so.
Now, on the round 2 of this, don't even bother, just wipe down your windows of the car, and if we gotta do this again, that way you don't clean the car twice.
Well, yeah, but then you're sitting in blood and guts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'll ride with Reginald this time.
I've got blankets. We'll throw blankets over the seats. Wipe the windows down, put blankets over the seat. Let's go snatch the other guy and get this done.
So the chauffeur has pretty much cleaned up the car. There's unfortunately going to be stains, but there is no longer any human effluence.
Thank you.
Oh, this is a great stuff.
These guys. I freaking love these guys.
Felix, I will, after this is all over, want to talk to you about your hobbies.
It's the things that we do, idle hands to prevent them, It's
What I would give for a doctor on our payroll right now.
We could use a good doctor.
We can make
Especially
some
Martis.
quiet inquiries at the club and see if a medical man can be of assistance.
Agreed.
So back to the Pinkers.
I really would not tell the Pinkers what has happened.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no.
because we don't need more people knowing about what was going on.
The less we talk, the better.
Yes. So can everyone fit into Vadim's car? We can go and pick up either Cyrus's or Fuller's, or we can use Felix's again, I suppose, if there's...
We'll just use mine. We'll use mine again. I'm going to throw a blanket over that back seat just because the stains are probably not super attractive.
Dry.
Plus, we just got Cyrus clean, and I got a feeling that he's going to get messy again. So
Did I tell you I found a piece in my ear?
I did not. You did not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but at least that way, if we get more blood on the back of your seat, it'll stain it a nice wine color all the way across.
Very true. Very true. All right. So let's fire this thing up. We headed back.
And it's probably what, 4 in the afternoon, 5?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Actually, before we drive all the way back over here in this blood-stinking car, you want to call the Pinkers and see if there's somebody outside their house?
Yes, why not?
Because they have no idea that we snatched the other one.
And don't tell them either. There's, they might not know how to. If questioned, they might just, these guys took him.
No, Bingo and Ori seem like very nice, quiet people who need know as little as possible. So, ring a ding.
Yep.
Pinkers.
Yes, on Rio.
Hello, it's Reginald Harcourt.
Reginald, it's Bingo.
Happy to hear your voice, Bingo. How are things?
Well, about the same. We just got home from work a little while ago. Anything new?
Nothing conclusive. Do you have any watchers about right now?
Let me go check. And there's a few minutes of silence, and he says, "Yes, I think that that shorter fellow is there right now."
Very interesting. I'm curious to get a look at him. I've only seen the tall one. Keep inside for a bit. We're going to drop by and see if we can interview the fellow.
Oh. Are you sure that's safe?
Not entirely, but I think the circumstances are sufficiently dire that it's warranted. What could you tell me other than that he's short?
Well, he has graying hair, wearing a suit, gray suit. Looks like he's got black shoes. It's a little hard to see. The sun in this neighborhood is kind of behind the buildings at this point.
No, that's quite helpful already, though.
Looks like he's smoking.
That's a good way to kill time. And you're both safe at home?
Yes, we're quite safe.
Very good. I'll be in touch if I find anything out that's of use. Thanks so much.
All right, be careful.
Shall do.
And he hangs up.
Gentlemen, I have a suggestion before we proceed. May I suggest that we move, if we are doing the same thing with this shorter fellow, that we move him away from the site some distance, in case if somebody is keeping eye on him, and if this is something as radical as a voodoo doll, that would require a connection. And if we could keep a connection away from the situation, that might...
And you know what I was thinking too? Felix, do you have any rope?
I do. Just in
All
the
right,
back
so
of the garage here.
we'll take some rope, and instead of me trying to question him right away, let's just tie him up and bring him, and then you guys can question him so you could see what happens. I mean, I'll do the dirty work, but you so you could see exactly what I saw. Might want to step to the side though. Talk to him like a little to the left or a little to the right, because.
Well, also before we go, we'll grab the rope. Let's also I'm gonna grab some paper and a pencil. Because if it's an audio connection, then we could have him just write it down, because the guy, whatever forced the other fella to clench his mouth and not be able to talk, I'm pretty sure that we didn't see his hands and everything else clench up. So maybe it's only got control over top, whatever he got a hold of him. So if he can write, just quickly jot down the name, But I know when we snatch him up, maybe we do need to tell him he's got a choice. He can either write what he knows, or his face will explode, just like his friends did.
I doubt he'll believe it, but it's worth a shot.
Then we'll just pull the blanket back and say, look, you ever seen an interior colored as Stuart?
All right. Let's do this.
All right.
Same routine as before. Fuller, do you want to be in the car or no?
Yeah, I'll be in the car.
Yeah, that way we might need help tying him up.
I'm not going to leave you on your own.
Thank you, Fuller.
Vadim, let's be in the other car. What do you say?
Yes.
Well, I kind of planned it that way the first time, so you didn't just see me do what I did. So
Same tune as the first, as they say, yes?
yeah, play it again, Sam.
Belvedere.
Mm.
Belvedere, thank you so much for all your help. We may be returning with a similar situation. If you could kind of have everything ready just in case, that would be fantastic.
Of course, sir. Let's try to save the suits this time, though.
If you think we can save them, we will. I trust your judgment on that, 100%.
The maid seems to think that we can get the blood out.
You did burn the old suits, though, right?
Of course, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. You guys.
All right. So how are you going to handle this?
Worked the first time,
All right.
but do a drive-by. Drive around the block one time just to see.
Right. Well, this time, when you get there and you start driving around, it's dusk, and you can see that people's lights are on in their houses. Everybody, well, who's driving? Okay. Whoever's not driving, do a spot hidden.
Failed that.
My eyeballs fell out.
Exactly 60 for 60.
Okay, well, Reginald, you notice just as you drive by that Honoria is peeking out the window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Vadim, would you toot the horn? Hopefully that'll suggest to the fellows that we keep moving. We do. I think we want to avoid. I wonder if we could lure him off the corner somehow, out of sight. Let's flash the lights again and see if they can pull over so we can have a chat.
There is an alleyway towards his back. I think I said that last time.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's standing.
Now, is he standing in the same place the other fellow was?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Just for the layout, to know what's around.
Well, Stuart was against a fence,
Yep.
Which limited his movement. But when we drove around the first time we visited the Pinkers, there was also an alley.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. He's a little closer to the alley than the other guy was, but there's still a fence, yes.
Does the alley go all the way through to the other
Yes.
side?
To the other street, yes.
That's where the trash pickup and things happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so perhaps if two of us approach the fellow, we can get him out of sight and into the vehicle without alarming Honoria or Bingo. What say you? Especially
Now,
as both of you have pistols. If you throw your arms around his shoulders and one of you shoves a pistol into his ribs.
I can
Now-
do that.
when I was walking last time with the cane, this degenerate looked like he wanted to even trip me. He was laughing at me. He was just a all-around piece of crap. Now maybe one of us or myself can pretend, walk down a little drunk, even just go to the corner store and grab a bottle, walk past him, have some money sticking out of my breast pocket and stumble into the alleyway. if he's anything like his counterpart, this piece of shit will come right after me.
Well, perhaps, unless his orders is specifically to keep an eye on the Pinker household, in which case the pay he's receiving is more than ample. Apparently, your friend Stuart was extremely faithful to his keeper.
Yeah.
But again, if Felix comes up on one side and Fuller on the other, and they throw their arms around it, and there could be a drunk act too. Weave up to him and then throw their arms around him, and then pistol to the ribs. You're coming this way. Then Honoria won't see anything too troubling. So
I'm just hoping this guy isn't so full of bravado that he's gonna go for his pistol and we gotta shoot him.
Here's a question, if it even bothers anybody, but the first guy was watching the Pinker's house, he disappears. If the second guy disappears watching the Pinker's house, isn't somebody's boss going to be wanting to be more interested in the Pinkers than they were before? We could be putting these people in harm's way.
Does have a good point there.
Their boss comes out there and takes a look at the Pinkers, then we'll snatch them too. By then we'll have 2 times practice, we'll be quite adept.
I do also think that there's been enough surveillance on the Pinkers that I don't imagine that whatever criminal mastermind is involved thinks that Honoria or Bingo are terribly threatening.
Oh, if they wanted them.
I note your concern. I would not like to bring the Pinkers any further difficulty, or for that matter, Nevie or Teddy. But we have only one source of information at this point.
I know, it's just that so many people have died recently that I would hate to Pinkers be one of the...
It speaks well of you, Fuller.
So, you guys are still driving around the block?
Yeah. Do we like the 2 drunk fellows take a fellow for a stroll idea?
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right.
I got my Luger.
I have my Mauser 912.
I have my car running.
Same here, but kind of back a ways.
All right. So, well, how are you going to do it? You've got your car running. I get that. All right. Where are you going to get out? Where are you going to go?
Let's have Ladim and Reginald in the car on the other side of the alley and Felix on one side. That way, if he runs down the alley, we have a car waiting on either end. Just to cover both ends.
All right.
And then we could be bait to get his attention.
If we get him in Felix's car, we'll just drive around the block. If you see Felix's car come around, you follow.
Sounds fair.
All right. So we'll get out on the far corner like I did last time. So we'd be heading towards the guy.
Okay. Do you park the car and get out where he can see you park the car and get out?
No. That's why I'm saying all the way down on the other corner.
All right.
So you have the alleyway. Felix's car would be on this side. Vlad's car is on this side of the alleyway, and we're walking from the opposite corner around.
Okay.
So almost 1.5 corners.
All right. So you're walking in his direction, and then you turn the corner, and you're walking straight towards him. And you guys are pretending to be drunk. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Johnny, I'm telling you, you had 3 too many. But I know this place. They're cheap drinks. I only got $40 left. We could get a girl and a bottle. And I'm gonna.
You can see him sort of straighten up his suit. like if you guys are going to bump into him, he's probably going to shove you back, but
He putting his hand
he's
inside
actually
his,
trying to kind of ignore you.
is he
And
putting his
what-
hand inside his waistband like to hold a gun?
No.
Okay.
He's got his arms crossed and he's smoking a cigarette.
Oh man, you know some girls around here. I know, and I go in for him.
What are you going to do?
gun in his
Basically
wrist.
put my hand on his shoulder, like if I'm going to like trying to lean on him,
Uh-huh.
but at the same time pull the gun up and jab it under his, like into his armpit, basically. Don't fucking move, I'll kill you.
And I got the other side.
What the fuck? Who the
Shut
hell are
the
you people?
Keep your mouth shut and get in the car if you want to live. If not, I'll pull the trigger here.
What car?
And I go like that at where Felix is parked on the corner. I mean, I'll just kill you here, but you can have a chance. Start walking.
Look, I ain't got no money.
Did I ask you for that? Start walking.
So reluctantly, he starts moving. Look, I don't want no trouble.
Johnny, open the door. Did you hear me? It cut out for a second.
Yeah.
Johnny, open the door.
Open the door.
All right.
Johnny, get in.
I get in, have my gun so that when he gets in, he's being received to the gun, and then Cyrus will come in behind me with another gun.
Correct.
What the fuck
Get
is
in
this
it.
all about?
And close the door. You'll find out soon enough.
We're
You want
rolling.
to live? You want to live? Just be quiet.
So he gets real quiet and he's looking at you all.
I hand him back the pad and pen. Or
I
pencil.
think Charlie and Victor wanted to be there.
All right. So where are you driving?
Is there like a secluded area, like
same
a
place.
industrial,
Let's take him to the docks.
an industrial area, someplace where we could pull over, and Victor and Charlie can also listen to this.
Don't get any ideas. You are currently sitting on Stewart.
All right. Do a luck roll.
Which one?
I'll say Felix do a luck roll, since you're kind of the one looking for a place to.
70. Oh yeah, failed that.
Okay, well, you're driving around for half an hour, and but you're down by the docks. There's still workers around, and there's still lights on in places, so you're having a hard time finding a place.
Shit.
Look, what do you guys want?
Pull, pull over a second. Let Victor and Charlie get in.
A lot of people in that car. Cars were big.
They were, yeah.
All right, you got two people in the front, two people in the back, and the guy stuck in the middle. So, who's on either side of the guy?
I'm on the inside door. So let's see. If the car's pulling in this way, I would be like facing on the side that the road's on.
I'll pull down the rumble seat and sit facing directly to him.
Okay. So, Cyrus, you're actually right behind the guy.
Okay.
And Fuller, you're on one side. Who's on the other side of him?
They pulled over and we've joined them?
Yes.
All right, so Fatim, yeah, they've stopped. They're going to be running boards. So I assume we were sort of hop on the running boards and peer in rather than actually enter the vehicle while we figure it out.
Okay.
That's not going to look good run down the street standing on the running board.
You're we'll say you pulled over in a dark area near the docks. There's people, but they're over there. They won't necessarily see what's going on.
Yeah, not a great place for shots, but not, terrible for optics.
I'm going to listen in I'm gonna listen in, but I'm gonna keep an eye out, see if anybody pops out or is nearby.
People who work in the docks over there are not exactly the most upright people, so they're not exactly, if they see a car over there doing something, they're like gonna not bother it.
They're my kind of people, you guys. I think we're gonna be it.
I grabbed the pencil and paper from Felix.
What the fuck is this for?
Here. I suggest. Oh, somebody else take this one, please.
Well,
Let's turn around from the front seat. What's your name?
Why you want to know?
Stuart
Cyrus.
told
pull
us
out
that his name was Stuart,
my
but we
knife.
didn't get your name.
What the fuck did you do with Stuart? He wasn't there when I got there this evening.
Stuart's
I
now
killed him.
plastered all over this chair that you're sitting on. And if you don't help us out here, you're going to end up the same way.
Look. Whoa,
What's your
we don't want no problems. Come on.
Then let's
No.
start off with a name. Yours.
Right. Yeah.
Leroy.
Okay. What's your real name? And I jab him in the hand with the knife, very lightly.
Leroy,
Not.
man.
Does he sound like he could be Italian?
Maybe. His suit looks like it's Italian.
Yeah, Leroy's
Okay.
I mean, Guido.
Okay.
Leroy
Leroy.
Bertinelli. Leroy Bertinelli.
No, I think your name is Guido.
I don't know anybody named Guido.
Look, long story short there, fella. You're watching a house. Somebody's paying you. But you're not going to tell me who it is. You're not even going to try. Because if you try to tell me, then chances are your face will explode, much like Stuart's. Stay. Just be cool. Hear me out. Be cool. You see, Cyrus here has a pen and paper. And we just need you to write down the name of the person who's hired you to watch them.
No fucking way. I ain't ratting him out.
I hit him with the blunt end of the knife on the top of the head.
Ow, motherfucker.
Next time, I turn the knife around and we call it a day. I obviously don't want to speak.
Dude, there's
So
nothing that you can do to me that's going to be worse than what he would do to me if I ratted him out.
Well, what will he do to you?
Look,
Will he do to you what he did
we're
to Stuart?
we're just watching the house to see if that woman showed up. Obviously, you guys aren't the people we were looking for, and I'll make a deal. Just let me go, and I'll tell the boys to back off.
Look me in the eyes. That woman you're looking for, she's fucking.
She's
Buddy, she's fucking dead. He's dead. You're sitting in that wet spot you're sitting in. That's him. Now
Dude, I don't give a shit about that. There's no way that I can look. It's a rich guy. He's looking for things.
so why are you so afraid of him?
Wait a minute. These things that he's looking for. And the rich guy. He's a white guy?
Yeah. What else?
Mr. Tompkins can't save you. He couldn't save Stuart. Stuart died very unpleasantly. If you'd like to not die very unpleasantly, you can explicate your situation for us. I suggest the pen and paper. Stuart, you see, died from a massive internal hemorrhage when he realized that he had to tell us the truth.
Look, I don't give a shit about Stuart. He's just another one of the guys. We were hired to watch the place and see if that dark-haired woman showed up.
She's dead. She will never show up.
Well, then fine. We'll go our separate ways. We won't bother these people anymore. We won't be here anymore. Just
Tom,
let me go. All right. So he screams,
Now he can't write, Cyrus.
and now
No,
we can.
that's his
Now
left hand.
I'm gonna roll to see if anybody in the neighboring houses, all having their dinner, hear the scream. Maybe.
Mm.
Oh, that's right. We're not in the neighborhood.
We're in the
Sorry.
industrial park.
Yeah.
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 So he's screaming. He's like, what the fuck are you doing?
His left pinky. He can still write with his right hand.
How many of you are there? You said the guys. How many guys are there?
I don't know who you people are. You're trying to get me to rat out my people. There's no fucking way, dude.
We want to have talk with people. We have business with them. We want to find out who they are so that we may conduct business.
No, you want to conduct business with these people. There's no way.
Oh, I think we do. You'd be surprised.
Look, I don't know nothing. I know what I was hired to do, and that's all I was doing. And I don't ask no questions.
But you know, your boss, we want to talk with him.
There's no way. There's no way.
We want to talk with him.
It's not going to happen.
We want to do business with him.
I'm sorry.
What is it that he could do that's worse than killing you slowly? Because I'll tell you, my friend Cyrus here, the Yankee, he's quite mad. He'll start with breaking your fingers, and he'll start cutting them off. There's things that can go into your ear. I don't want to see it.
I think I want to make a necklace from his testicles this time.
See, that's some of that Naboo shit that he does right there.
So just tell us Thompson's name, and we'll let you go, and you can run back to your clubhouse.
Who the fuck is Thompson?
That's the question. Who's your big man? Who's the boss?
Write it down.
Look, first of all, I don't know how to fucking write. I don't got no education. What do you think? I go to school, I did well in school. Yeah, that didn't happen. So I just can't do it. I can't tell you. I'm probably going to die and try, but there's just no way I can do it. What he'll do to me, you talk about slow dying. Yeah, there's no. This guy's way, way too powerful.
Where does he hang out?
I ain't going to tell you nothing.
Well, would it be possible if we could arrange a meeting so that we could talk our business with them?
He puts his hands down and he goes, look. He says, you can let me go or you can kill me.
Okay.
I don't think you people look like the kind of people who are going to kill me.
Oh.
Let me go and I'll... Okay.
Just in the shoulder.
He says, yeah, I've been cut worse. I've been cut worse shaven.
I just tell me when, guys.
Easy there, Cyrus.
I told you I'll tell my guys to back off, but you're gonna have to let me go.
No,
are you guys the ones that are sitting over at Sweet Relics also?
Sweet Relics? I don't even know what that is.
Little small German guy.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Must be a different set of guys.
No. He just doesn't want to talk. All right, so you want to lose toes first or fingers? What? I'll let you pick.
Yeah.
Well, hold on.
Trigger feeling.
Would it not be out of reach to make an arrangement to meet the boss? To do business. This
piece of shit so low on the totem pole, he probably doesn't even know who he works for.
Or at least someone who could get us in with the boss.
He can get me in with his maid or his cleaner, maybe. He doesn't even know the boss. He doesn't even know a sergeant.
I'm inclined to believe you that he actually doesn't believe that he actually doesn't even know who he's employed by. Not at all.
The boss won't even let him. The boss won't even let him spit shine his shoes.
I think, Yank, you should put something in his mouth before you break the next finger, because I don't want the screams to attract locals having a late lunch.
No, what I think we're going to do is put a noose around his neck and drag his body around town.
Not that again.
Now, is he showing any fear or?
No, he's looking smug.
All right, I'm going to take a finger.
Yep, there you go.
Well, he's going to fight you for it.
First, I'm going to pop him in the head really nice.
So, well,
Want me to roll?
he's going to become violent at this point.
There
And
we
start
go.
kicking and screaming and punching. So,
I just shoot him.
No. I want to see he needs to. We need him to tell us something to reenact what happened.
You brought rope for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, let's try and tie him up.
He's fighting.
I'll
now.
hit him. I'm gonna hit him and then try and tie his hands.
all right. Well, you're going to have to do a brawl roll.
Now, is he
Yeah,
trying to
which
get out
is-
or just to fight?
Well, he obviously wants to get out, but
Vadim, Reginald, jump off those running boards.
31 out of
Jumping.
65, so it's a hard.
And I drive the car away.
okay.
rolling.
Well, you hit him. Go ahead and roll for damage.
It's D4 plus D4 plus. That's it. 1, 4, 5 total.
All right, you hit him pretty good in the face. So he's got a black eye and he's bleeding. Look up here where you cut him.
Now I'm
It's just made him angrier. He's
gonna
gonna.
try and Fuller, grab him and try and tie him up.
Grab him.
Gonna have to brawl. I just got a 15, so
Brawl,
I'm-
brawl.
yeah.
Okay, this is gonna suck. Holy cow! I actually made it. It's
What'd you
just
get?
a regular. It's just a regular though.
Okay, he got a hard, so he punches Fuller in the face,
Oh,
and
that's it. Shoot that motherfucker!
he does 4 points of damage when he does it too.
Ow!
I want to try and just punch him and go for non-lethal damage.
All right, go ahead.
61, so it's just a regular success.
Okay, he's trying to dodge it, and he got a 31,
Ooh.
which is a regular success. So you punch, but he gets out of the way.
All right.
Who else is in that seat? You're behind him. Oh, you guys are outside. What are you guys doing outside?
Yeah, we're getting back in Vadim's car and following
Yeah,
because Felix is
That's
pulling away.
the idea.
We're driving so that he can't jump out of the car.
All right.
We're just
So-
riding around we're basically riding around that industrial area, keeping the speed high enough so no matter what he does, he's not getting out of that car without having to roll.
All right. He is going to try to hit Cyrus. What do you want to do? Do you want to try to hit him back or dodge?
I'm just going to hit him. I'll take the shot.
All right.
So roll my attack.
Yeah. It's your counter attack. He's attacking.
18.
Is that extreme or hard?
A hard.
Okay. He got a
could
double.
spend-
He got a 007.
Oh, wow.
So he's going to punch you. Maybe he kicks you for 2 points of damage. He kicks
right.
you in the gut, and he's trying to get out.
Lean into him. Put the gun on his thigh. Pull the trigger. Oh.
Okay, I'm going to say that's point blank. Go ahead and I don't think you need to roll, but you're not going to do that much damage since you put it on his thigh. Roll a 1d4.
1d4.
Yeah.
Should I have mentioned one thing? I got a 2.
Okay. So you basically put a hole through his thigh,
And my
And the-
seat puller.
and the gunshot goes off. And there are people on the docks nearby. You can see that some of them look in your direction, but your car is going. Vadim and Reginald, you hear the gunshot go off.
Oh no.
And the guy screams, "What the hell? What the hell? Why you shot me, you son of a bitch?"
I'm going to see if I could just nicely caress his thigh and jab my thumb into the hole.
Well, he says, "Thank you for the nice caressing of my thigh." He says, all right. And he starts to say something. And as he does, he begins to shake like
Oh,
this.
no.
And
I'll take...
And
all over the the seat.
Oh, you're lucky. I took one for the team. Jumping.
Vadim, does that look to you?
Oh,
Like it does to me.
no. Not again.
My speed is no longer as high as it was, and the erratic turns are much smoother now. Since there's no rush to do anything, we've popped another one.
What was
we have
his name?
certainly-
He said Leroy Scarpinelli.
It seems that we've proved a theory of sorts. And that's about all. I don't suppose the world is any worse off for the lack of these people. But I don't have much stomach for this activity.
Let's follow them back, and I've got the idea what's happening.
I'm just gonna motion out the window for you guys to follow me. We're gonna go back to my place. You guys are gonna have to come off a little bit of cash from my staff for cleaning this stuff up. They're gonna act very nice, but I know these guys, and they're gonna be kind of pissed to have to clean 2 guys out of the back of my car.
I'll kick in a few dollars, man.
There you go. That'll work.
They deserve it 100%.
Yeah,
I'm kind of hungry. You got some food?
Damaged the fine Corinthian leather.
You did. You shot right through the naga hide, and that was from the free-range nagas, which are an extinct animal at this point.
From India.
Yes, the Indian free-range naga, from which I made the naga hide seat covers.
Felix, I hope you got some food there. I'm hungry now.
I do.
Also, not to mention, shooting someone in the thigh, there's a major artery in the thigh.
That's why I didn't want you to shoot him. I wanted to try and get some answers.
We got
or at
the
least
answer.
let Victor and Charlie see that maybe they could glean something from it.
But the thing is, we got the answer we were looking for.
Yeah.
Will he
We
explode?
didn't get the answer we want, but we got the answer we were looking for.
So you end up back at Felix's. The routine begins again. Belvedere, Benson, and the unnamed chauffeur, because he doesn't know what his name is until Felix tells him what it is. They go through it all again without any questions. They're paid for this sort of fun stuff. Yeah, I think you should all do sanity rolls.
Not our first rodeo anymore, though.
Yeah, but now you're kind of like murderers.
Now we're like serial killers.
No. I might have hurt them, but I didn't kill him.
You knew what would happen to him.
Yeah, but
I just made a 100.
Oh, you
That
took
does
it
not look
bad,
good.
Fuller. That's the first guy you ever shot.
Take 4 points of sanity on that one.
Oh, okay.
And the
Actually,
rest of you can do a 1d4 if you didn't make it.
I passed.
I passed, but I'm going to take one anyway.
Take one.
Yeah, take one. Fuller. Felix, $20 each for you guys. Is that all right?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That'll set them up quite nice.
I hand
Bucks. These are silver-backed American dollars.
Oh, we're not going to give them a pound, are we?
No. Yeah, a pound. 20 pounds a piece, I guess.
Yeah, here you go.
Pulling out my checkbook and writing a check for 150 pounds. And to get to Felix.
In the memo, it says body cleaning.
Services rendered.
No, see, my rationale is friends of ours are getting their throats slit and their hands cut off. If I need to do what I need to do to stop, they're bad guys to me, so they don't count. If they're going to stalk a young lady in Neve's house and slit throats and cut off hands and feet, fuck them. Now, if it was an innocent bystander or I did it to the wrong person, I'd take double, you know what I mean? Give me D6 in it because that's going to bug me. But they're not civilians.
Well, they seem to be well out of their league, at any rate. I'm curious if Leroy was speaking the truth about being part of a larger group, who's going to be minding the Pinker residents and with what frequency, and how they'll elucidate amongst themselves the sudden disappearance of two of their party. Also, assuming, because it cannot be a poison agent at this point, it has to be something at least like a post-hypnotic suggestion that causes these people to die violently when about to betray this conspiracy. Does that mean that the agent that caused that behavior is aware that they're dead? Or how they died, or when?
Well,
I have suggestion of possibility on what's going on with the with these agent men. Obviously, they are of lower class, and as the last one mentioned, he could not read or write. I think this was intentionally done. I will try and sum up what would be a very long discussion into a short explanation. If we are dealing with something that is occult, or what is being termed as magic by nature, it could be, how would you say, a set protocol that has been imbued upon the agent. And said protocol goes off when various terms are met. In this case, he tries to talk on who his employer is, and it goes off to keep him from talking on who employer is.
possibly.
That is,
but-
if we're dealing with an actual occult situation. But it's rather clever in the fact that he was chosen for who he was, and a specific protocol was put on. And if we are actually dealing with something that is occult, we are dealing with forces that are quite pronounced. And this boss may actually be as powerful as he was said to be. We may be dealing with someone above and beyond here.
See, I don't know too much about it, but all I know is I've seen two men die because they were about to say somebody's name. So something could either read their mind or hear their thoughts. And that's why I said 2 times that I killed that woman already. She's dead. Don't look for her. Because if whatever the person was listening, maybe he would think that she's dead and give up searching for her.
See, I think it's protocol because both men met same protocol in trying to tell who is behind all this, who is boss.
Well, now that you say it, that makes sense. I just said that because I didn't know what was going on. I figured if it could help her at all,
Now, protocol is specific. It has to be specific because if he knew how to write, he would have write it down and we would have found out. I don't even think they know they have protocol on them.
Now, if he went to write it down, it probably would have been the same result.
Maybe, maybe not. He was illiterate.
Oh, right.
It depends. If it is, the Gaelic word is gash, a vow that has shamanic or occultic authority.
Oh, guess.
Yeah.
Yes, guess. Yes, guess.
Gash is,
Guess.
it's spelled,
Gash.
yes, Geas, yes.
I do have problem with a lot of indigenous spelling here in the British Isles, but yes.
And the Gaelic makes no sense to any of us, of course.
Oh, a little
It
to me.
seemed
but
very
that's-
much as
that's
though
either
they
good or-
specifically had made a vow or were compelled by some rule, whether they had agreed to it or not.
Rule, protocol,
Yes, protocol.
It's about the same. I mean, the protocol put on them. I don't even think they even know that they were entrusted with protocol.
My fear, of course, because Reginald seemed so unconcerned about the deaths surrounding his digs, that he might have been the wealthy man in question. But it did not seem as though this Leroy had any idea what I meant. Was that your impression as well?
I think so. Yeah. I didn't trust Thompson since we left his office. I've been thinking about meeting with him over and over, and the more I think about it, the more I don't like the man.
Right, but it doesn't seem as though he hired Leroy. Also, given what Felix found in his notebook, he can't have known that McAvoy was dead for a month. Because when he found out that Lord Brightman was dead, he said, "Oh, there are only a few of us left." And McAvoy at that point already been murdered. Gentlemen, where the hell do we go from here? Once we get rid of the second body.
I don't know. And Reginald and Vlad, I'm sorry you had to see what you saw.
We're into something big, but how do we get to the bottom of it, as they say?
Yes, I'm unaccustomed to this sort of violence, but it's obviously a violence preferable to that of what's happened to McAvoy, Brightman, etc.
Sir, in anticipation for tonight's activities, I've prepared a large vat of sulfuric acid in the basement, if you'd like me to take the body.
Give us a chance to search it first, Belvedere. We want to make sure we don't burn up anything that we may need or may help us move forward.
Yes, of course.
Now, with our other unlively guest, has he been taken to his destination?
Yes, sir. He was placed on a bench, and I made the call. I later was interviewed by a policeman who came by, a detective Brinslow.
Oh.
I told him simply what that I saw the body. I didn't mention your name.
Excellent. Now, the chauffeur Hoke, was he? He was on board as well, correct?
Of course, sir.
Excellent. Excellent. Definitely want to make sure everything's taken care of. Well, we kind of know the routine by now. Obviously, we'll need 3 suits. Actually, make that 4 suits. 3 from the left, 1 from the right.
Actually, sir, I had some tailor here to put together 4 suits that would fit you all perfectly.
Fantastic.
In anticipation for tonight's activities.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right. So he gives you whatever you need.
And draw a bath, please. We're going to need it again.
We've had 4 showers installed since the last.
It's good to be rich.
The McIntyre plumbers are very quick.
Yes.
All right. You guys are all cleaned up, but now it's getting late. What are you going to do?
We got to do something with his body.
We'll say that's being taken care of.
Did we? I wanted to search it down and see if there was anything, weapons, identification, any kind of paperwork.
We'll say there is a gun, but there is no identification.
Could I take?
There's no whether he has tattoos or this guy doesn't have any tattoos.
I'd like to take that gun. We can figure out what kind it is later if you want.
Okay.
But I'm gonna take it because I have none.
It's a bang bang gun.
Excellent. Yeah. That's one of the finer models this time of year.
All right. So now it's late, and you're all still at Felix's. What do you want to do?
Let's eat. I'm hungry.
Oh, Belvedere made sandwiches and fruit. Sandwiches and then fruit on the
Excellent.
side. It's actually, he makes a great sandwich. Or Benson does, and Belvedere brings it in the most timely fashion.
I'm
And
not eating. I'm engrossed in my paperwork on my pad.
More for us.
we'll assume that you've taken care of all of those things. What would you like to do? Let's say it's about 9:30 or 10.
I've
Oh,
got
well,
plenty of
yeah.
rooms here. If everybody'd like to stay, you're welcome to stay. And apparently we have 4 extra bathrooms and showers now. But, one of the things that I would like to point out is we did find 3 facts in our car ride today. Kind of passive facts, but we do know that we're looking for a white male, which that eliminates several people. And a collector, an avid collector of, we don't know if they're just the Naboo artifacts or if they're artifacts in general, but this is where it goes from fact to assumption that it would be the Naboo artifact because it was, from what I can conclude, it was Nev that they were looking for, or Nev. And he really wanted that gold artifact back. So, I mean, who do we know right now, if we know anyone, who is a white male who is an avid collector of Naboo artifacts? That really narrows it down.
There's one more fact, too.
Which one is that?
We may be dealing with someone who is involved in the occult, which also might mean we might be dealing with someone who is within the Wentworth Club.
That's a very uncomfortable thought.
It is very uncomfortable.
I still need to ask what your thoughts are on Thompson, because I don't trust him.
Well, he's not trustworthy. He's a liar. However, he seems more likely at this point to be a victim of these circumstances than a perpetrator.
Okay. I tend to agree. He doesn't seem like someone who would go for, shall we say, our sorts of hobbies in the occult.
And keep in mind, the gold Naboo figure, which clearly is being sought, was in the hands of the British Museum. That's how we got it.
Correct.
So he had delivered it initially. It's not as though he's likely to have, it's not something that evaded him that he's then searching for.
Right.
It's something he delivered to the museum, and then Archie brought it to Nevi, who brought it to me. As black as his soul appears to be, I don't think he's behind this current set of violent behavior.
Now, my next question is, where would one go to look for the Red Turban gang or order or cult or whatever they might be?
Well, Iraq.
But they must have fingers or hands or tendrils that reach here.
Yeah.
There
must be a Middle Eastern quarter in the city.
Right.
We can.
Little Iraq.
Yeah. I don't know how well we can infiltrate such an area, but inquiries can be made. Money can be spent.
We still need to pay a visit to Peter Simkin.
Yeah, maybe we should do that tonight. He keeps all his lights on and hates to sleep. We'd be the perfect thing to keep him awake.
At this point, that might be a good idea. Although I am feeling rather weary after today's events.
I haven't really slept.
Don't know if I'm going to sleep after this.
And yeah, today was troubling. Perhaps you'll take me to the club.
Sure, I can take you to the club, or like I said, you're welcome to stay here. Either way.
I appreciate it. I have changes of clothes at the club, though.
Okay. No
A
Reginald,
gentleman doesn't wear the same shirt twice.
just
Yeah.
before you go, I think it was Vlad that brought it up that if there is somebody connected to on the inside, on the other side of us at the club level, is that even safe anymore for you? Now, this might be looking too deeply into it, but if there's even a small chance of that,
Especially now that we exploded 2 of their people.
yeah. I mean, I might be reaching out on a limb with this, but I'd rather we're all safe together than for comfort of a clean shirt to have something unfortunate happen.
I would say we do need to put up an appearance at the club because we are members, but I do agree that staying away too would be very prudent.
And for that matter, we have no reason at all to believe that I'm not safe in my own home.
That's very true.
In fact, the fellow who might have written down the tag on my vehicle exploded in a mass of bodily fluids today. So he's not going to be telling anybody anything more about that.
When did he write that tag down? How many?
Yesterday. It was yesterday that we first bearded him.
Right.
So he might have passed it on, certainly.
Right. Exactly.
We've off 2 guys in 48 hours.
24.
Oh, my math was never a strong suit unless it had a pound symbol after it. Or before it.
Yeah. No, I think that I'd like to sleep at the club because I'd like to know that there are people around me. It's been I frankly am a bit anxious, and I would like a couple of brandies and to know that there are people nearby.
I can't fault you for that. I'll give you a ride, no problem.
And Simkin, well, I don't feel up to it. And maybe he doesn't either. I don't know.
You think maybe it'd be better for fewer people instead of a group to go to Simkin in the state he's in?
That might be less distressing to him, yes.
Hmm.
I don't know if he can be reached. We could see if there's an analyst at the club to bring along.
Yeah.
That might not be a bad idea to find someone who is into psychology to perhaps break through to him.
Well, it's a blossoming field right now. I mean, it's new to me, new to a lot,
Yes, but our lot at the Wentworth Club tends to be more on the radical end of things, so I think we stand a good chance.
At the Wentworth Club, I mean, I'm just going to add that there's a possibility, I suppose, but most of the people at the Wentworth Club aren't white collar workers, so they're not going to be doctors or lawyers, or maybe. I mean, that's possible. Most of them are fairly wealthy and don't have to work very much. Maybe retired.
Yeah, also analyst seems like kind of a gentleman's hobby from that era, although I could be.
I could see us finding someone here at the club that would have the skill set we need.
Or we could just go over there and talk to the guy.
Well, that's true too. Let's just go talk to him.
All right, if that was what you want to do.
Do you want us to drop you off first, Reginald, or are you coming with?
Yeah, I can stay up for a little bit longer. I'll probably be awake for a while anyway. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So you drive Reginald to the Wentworth Club. And Reginald, I assume you get out, go upstairs to the room.
I thought he was coming with us.
Yeah, the last thing I said was that I was willing to go along for the ride.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. You guys change what you're going to do every 30 seconds, and I can't keep track. And then you all go silent, so I don't know. I'm like, okay, I need to say something now. All right, so you guys are driving over to Peter Simkin's, and it's now about 10 p.m.
Are the lights on?
Yep.
Good. At least he's not dead since sunset. I'll go up to the. I'm gonna go up to the front door, and I'm gonna knock lightly, loud enough to hear, but not aggressive like a cop.
When you knock from inside, you hear a kind of a, oh, like he was startled when you knocked.
Who has the letter that he had sent to McAvoy?
Oh man, one of us has it. Hold on.
Say one of you has it.
Yeah, I think it might be Felix who picked it up.
I think it was. No,
So you might mention that.
it was. Yeah, Fuller had picked it up, handed it to me because the writing was very difficult. So yeah, I do have it in my pocket. Peter, it's Felix Matthews.
Go away.
I would, but I've got to. I'm bringing your letter back.
What?
Your letter that you wrote to McAvoy.
McAvoy?
Terrence. You know
Who
him.
are you?
I'm Felix Matthews. I'm a friend of Terrence.
How are you doing this? Are you just outside the door?
I'm leaning close, and
Okay.
so that he can hear it. I'm not yelling. I'm like doing it loud in a friendly way.
I don't believe you.
That's fine. I want you to, if you want, I'm gonna put something through your mail slot here. So if you don't trust me, that's fine. Just step back from the door. I'm gonna slide this in, and you can see. And I lift the mail slot, and I slip the letter into his mail slot.
This is the letter I sent to Terrence.
I know. It was at his house.
Who are you?
I'm a friend of Terrence, and I'm here to help you.
I don't believe you.
You don't have to believe me. It all has to do with the dig.
Oh,
You may be in a lot of trouble,
no. Oh, no.
but we can help you. We can keep you safe.
Just go away.
We can't go away, or they'll come for you. We're here to protect you. They already got Terrence.
You start to hear what sounds almost like furniture being moved around.
All right. I turn back to the car, just turn in place, and I wave Cyrus up.
I step out and I walk over.
Go around back, see if you can pick his lock.
I could break his lock. I don't know about picking it.
Try to get in the house quietly as possible. He's moving furniture up to the door, probably to block me out. So if you can swing around, gain entry from the back end.
I will proceed to, as I walk around the back, I'm going to look for any windows that might be ajar or...
all of the windows are locked up tight.
Is there a basement? Basement windows?
No. All of the curtains are pulled, but you can see light through them.
Is there a porch with windows on the top?
No, not like that. There is a porch, but there's a door. That's all.
I'll try the door. Is it locked?
Yes, it's locked.
What kind of door is it?
It's a wooden door.
Like, I mean, heavy oak door, or is it flimsy?
It looks like it's probably pretty heavy. I mean, the house is a nice house. Once it was. It once was.
Solid wooden door. Any little glass windows in it? Maybe in a no.
Not in the back door.
I'm gonna take a look. Maybe do a spot hidden, see any weaknesses or any. Can I maybe try and force the window up? Just pop the little hinge on it from the outside.
You can try, but without breaking the window, I don't think you're going to be able to do that. The latch is pretty. It's a latch.
Okay. So I'm gonna take a moment and walk back around and be like, Felix, the only way I could get in is breaking a window or trying to force the door, and it's a pretty heavy door. There's no basement windows, no way to climb to the second floor.
Are we all in one car?
I don't know.
I assume we travel in two again, assuming yours was cleaned up enough.
Yeah, I got my car here, so I figured we use that since I already have it out.
Actually, I may have misunderstood something, Cyrus. I didn't say there was no way to climb up to the second story.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was wondering, if there was a way, like at the porch, maybe have
a window.
You said something about a window, so I was worried. Thinking about window. I suppose it's like a Victorian house. There's a lot of bric-a-brac on it. Yeah, you might be able to climb up on there.
So I was thinking, climb up and try maybe one of the top windows, maybe.
Okay.
You want to climb roll, or do you want to?
Yeah, climb roll.
I do have points in it, though. Oh, 3 out of 25.
Well, you sort of stand next to the house and go, oh, and just float.
Extreme, yeah. I'll climb up the, I guess there's like little, what do you call them? Like
posts and bric-a-brac and stuff that you can hold on to and climb up. So you're up on the second. There's actually a little landing up there, almost like a balcony. The windows are locked. But, I mean, this, at least you probably wouldn't hear if you were.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, you might hear it if you broke them, but.
I'm going to see if I could.
Right now, too.
What was that, Felix?
He's moving furniture right now, too. So that's going to make the scrubbing and the squeaking and the shuffling downstairs. So you may have a shot.
Yeah, actually, you do see one of the windows is cracked open a little bit. It's still locked, but you can get some leverage underneath it.
I'll try. Want me to do a strength check? Or?
Yeah, do a strength roll.
25 out of 70.
Oh, so it's a hard. We'll say that you managed to pop the latch, and the latch, you hear the latch go clinkety clink and land on the carpet.
All right, so I'm going to slide the window up and climb in.
Okay. First thing that you notice is it smells like a house that hasn't been cleaned in a long time. There's obviously was some nice stuff here at one time. There was an oriental carpet. There is an oriental carpet. It just doesn't look like anything's been dusted or cleaned in a long time. So you're upstairs.
Now, making an educated guess, what would be the quickest way back down to the back door?
You'd have to go down the hall, down the stairs, through the living room. Yeah, you'd have to go through the house.
All right. I wasn't sure if there was like a servant's spiral staircase maybe in the back or...
Yeah, you don't see one, not from here.
All right.
I just don't want him moving stuff around downstairs.
I'll take a quick once over of the room. Anything look stand out to me? If not, I'll move to the next room. Look out. If the door is closed, maybe open and just look out a little bit.
The door's open. You step out of the room and into the hall, and you can see that after maybe 6 or 7 feet, it opens up. There's a balcony. There's stairs going down to the room below. And as you sneak forward and you look down, you can see Peter. He's disheveled. He's as white as snow. His hair is long and, kind of scraggly. He's got part of beard growing. He looks like a walking skeleton practically. And he's attempting to move furniture in front of the front door. But he doesn't seem to notice you.
All right. I'm afraid I'm going to startle the guy and give him a heart attack, so I don't want to do that. I'm going to see if I could just make my way to the back door and unlatch it.
You won't be able to get to the back door unless you walk right past him.
Past him.
Would Cyrus be able to hear me talking at the front door?
Probably not over the sound of the furniture being moved, unless you're talking loudly.
I gotta get Peter to the front door, but I don't know you're in. I don't know you're in.
Now, if I am I like at the top of a stairs, or is it like an overlook, or?
There's an overlook. That's what you're looking over. You'd have to take another 6 or 7 steps to get to the stairs going down.
Well, what I'm thinking is if there's like a piece of bric-a-brac or something and I could take and just toss it towards the back to startle him, maybe he'll run down to look at it and I'll run for the door. And
all right. Yeah, there's always bric-a-brac.
A book, whatever, something.
Say a book. You pick up a book.
And I want to throw it as far towards the back of the house as I can and then move back away. So if he looks up, I'm already out of eyesight.
Okay.
As soon as I see him running towards the back, I'll run down the stairs and throw the furniture and try and unlock the door.
Okay. So you throw the book, and when you do, you see him stop what he's doing, and he's like, like this. And he goes, they're coming in, and he starts running towards where he heard the book. Okay.
That's what I was hoping for. So I'll run down.
He's gone in that direction.
I'll run as fast as I can down the stairs and be like, Felix, it's me. And I'll try and push the furniture, shoulder it out of the way, and unlock the door.
Okay. You start pulling some of the furniture out of the way, and you said, Felix, it's me. Felix, you hear him.
Yep.
But Cyrus, all of a sudden coming from where you threw it, Peter comes running at you with his fists like this, and he's like, get out of my house, like this. And he starts wailing on you, but he's got no physical strength at this point. So he's like, get out of my house, get out of my house.
Reach through the crap and unlock the door.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'll just take it,
All right. Yeah, we'll see you open the door. No problem.
I'm not going to put hands on this guy. He has enough problems.
I will. Is there a couch?
Yeah, there is a couch. And
all right, I'm going to lay hands on him.
He's violent. You're going to try to grab him. Let me go.
Couch.
No, don't kill me. Don't cut my throat. No.
I wave out for the other guys to come in at this point.
All right.
Coming in, locking up the car on the way, and
what are you going to do with him? Are you going to? Well, you tell me what you're going to do with him. He's hysterical.
This might be a good time to stop for the night.
Don't shoot him in the leg, please.
No, don't shoot him.
Do you want to break at this point?
I'm just afraid we're about to get into a deep, involved situation here, and it's almost time to be done and didn't want it to end on a thing, you know?
Well, all right. Well, let's do this. He's hysterical, but once you've kind of grappled him and you're holding him to keep him from hurting himself.
Hurting himself.
And it takes maybe half an hour before he's calmed down enough. And you obviously haven't cut his throat. And the last thing that he says to you before we'll cut it is, he says, you're not them. You're not them at all. No, you're not. You're not. That's where we'll leave it. All right. Our players included Jason Melnichuk, John Byram, Ford Fitch, Jerry Bryant, and David Gassaway, with yours truly as the keeper of the secrets. We're currently producing up to 5 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved in this show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. We have a new patron. Amber Reeves has pledged $5 a month to help our show. Thank you so much, Amber. If you'd like to support our show, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 to a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.